Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I am Madcapper and this is another video on Raid Shadow Legends. Challenge accepted. This is the most difficult challenge I have faced in this series to date. It is an absolute nightmare. So let's talk about first the clan quest. We'll go into the clan quests here. Elite. I have 2 to do this week. If no clanmate takes this one here, I'm going to wait further to the end of the week. I don't like taking multiple elites. It's not really fair to the rest of my clan. So I'm going to give them the opportunity first. I need the coins. I'm out of coins here, lads and ladies. But we are going to push on. We're going to try this as best we can here. Fireknight Castle, Skinwalkers. We're going to do stage 20. I don't think that... I would be shocked if anyone could do this on 25. I'd be impressed because this group is the least fleshed out. Let's go into there and I'll talk about the teams I tried before we finally got one that worked. Like I said, this, and I mean, I'm missing Tumasea, which would probably help. The decreased speed's nice, decreased defense. Boy, it would be nice to have that. HP burn, not a huge deal. A nuker may help. I don't know if that would be a difference maker. I think Leorius would be a difference maker in the waves. Obviously, he's got that big AoE, which could probably help. But we don't have either of those. We do have every other one at our disposal. And we had to go deep. So here's the problem. There's no AoE defense down except one champion. But we're not using that champion. The first try, I actually used this champion. And that champion is Fleshmonger. The problem is his HP is 13,050. Here's the ability we were hoping. Here's the ability we were hoping for. Is that 75% chance of placing a decreased defense. But he's weak affinity at level 20, and that is not helpful for us. We need those to land, or else he's a dead weight. And guess what? He's a dead weight anyway, because with that low HP, he kept being the target because he's magic affinity, and he would die in the waves, and he wasn't much help. He wasn't any help, frankly, on the boss. So what we decided was, look, we'll take our time a little bit with the waves, and then we'll push in towards the boss, and we'll have some single target defense down weekends, and we'll be able to use it there. The second champion I brought in was Gnarlhorn. Thing was, Gnarlhorn did help with control, but I didn't have a real strong heal either. Now there is an option for revive, and there is an option for heal from Steel Skull and Horifes. I was considering those, but then I decided I was going to try one other thing instead. And it turns out that this was the linchpin for success in this challenge. And we're now going to go, and I'll show you the final team I put out at it. And we'll talk about why this, I mean, this is such a difficult one in comparison to all the others. It's crazy. But the final team I have is this. One change, though, I will put this here. I did complete it with that rotation. But that extra HP is very important. It helps prioritize stun target. If a champion has low enough health, even if they are neutral or strong affinity, they will still get targeted. So we want to try to get our what's his name? Oh god, Hawkhorn Smash Lord had a moment there. We're trying to get our Hawkhorn Smash Lord to be the target, and I mean he's got great health. So sometimes you might even want to put him a little less health to make sure that he is targeted. He also does have the only real heals out of the group that I use, and it's right here, 15% of this champion's HP. So the deal is, like, how do you do this? Is it best, you know, he uses his blood offering. I would suggest that if you want to really make this successful, to put them in a team comp, lock out that blood offering. It's not very useful. And the rest of the team, you may want to step it through so that they have all their team abilities ready at the right moment on the actual boss. So we're going to do that now. We're going to step through and think about what it is we want. I was skeptical about doing this because you can see I'm full. Again, you can see a lot of don't peek. Don't peek. That's for a different video that hasn't been put out yet. Also, don't peek again. Why are you peeking? Stop. As you can see, I've been having a lot of fun with the Demetha. I just need affinity to finish that up. So let's find one that we're not using currently. Is this a team we're using? I don't even know what that team is, but I'm scared to get rid of it. This is not a team we're using. That is not a team we're using. Okay. So let's put this together. The first champion, we already talked about him, is Hawkhorn Smashlord. The big 33% HP in dungeons, very helpful for the overall survivability of this team. And then we want a good, we have a good couple damage dealers. So Brackus is actually an all-star for this team. He's got a multi-hit, like a 28 hit. It feels like he's got a weaken. Overall, good damage, single target, so it's more about the boss than the waves. But he's still gonna do his business, and we really need that. Unfortunately, there's no free to play, in my opinion, option for this particular comp. The third one, Cleopteryx, she has been buffed. I don't even have her really in crazy gear. She's just over 4k damage, but definitely she's what's doing the damage, really helping put this forth. And then we're gonna prioritize the boss, like we said. And in order to do that, we're gonna bring in, I didn't realize that she's in the vault. We're gonna bring in Fane. Fane's got the defense down weakened, but more importantly, she's got the attack down. And that attack down, plus she's got some poisons, which is good. Anything for damage, right? So that's the attack down. I actually, on the last run I did, the successful run before recording, she could not land that defense down. She was putting into the shield every single time. So that's what we're going to try to avoid here. At least see if we can manipulate the rotation. And then Panthera is the linchpin, like I said, and we'll explain why in a minute. So what I want to do is I want to lock this out, no matter what. It doesn't do enough damage in the waves to be worthwhile. And the reality is, we really want him to get to this as often as possible. And this isn't... now, correct me if I'm wrong, but it heals all allies of his HP, not his max HP. So we don't want him giving up his HP. Again, horrible synergy, Plarium, on your champion skill sets. Hawkhorn would be a way better champion if Blood Offering was something completely different. With the same idea, but didn't take it, it takes its own health, just change this to 15% of his max HP. Maybe I'm wrong. But it feels like the lower his health, the less he heals. Maybe we'll see it, and maybe I'll correct myself in this video. Here, I think we're good just to let him go, but what I want to do is have this 6 times. So just for safety's sake, we're going to keep that on in the first round because we don't kill anything. I'm not really worried. We've got a attacks one enemy. We've got this is attacks all enemies, so that's a really strong one. And attacks all enemies, of course, that's really strong. So we're just going to let her do her thing in rotation. Same with her on the first round, we're not really worried. And then here, on the second round, though, we want to make sure we're going to lock out this. Brackus, we're going to lock out this because we want that to be available when we hit the boss so we can get that shield down as quickly as possible. Cleopteryx, we don't really care. We want to make sure that decreased attack is really important. I do want to get that flowing style out as well. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to lock both out. We're going to see if this works. And this is just for round 2. And we're going to lock out Devitalize here. Now this is why Panthera is so important. When we get to round 3, she puts a heal reduction. Very important. But I don't think she's going to get that on the first round. She's pretty fast. So we want to open with this, and then this wants to be her first choice. And we're going to lock this out. Now, this at first glance looks like a very good ability. It puts a perfect veil on herself, so she's reducing damage on herself. Plus Reflect, but Reflect, it's only 1 extra hit on the boss. And honestly, what I did find more often than not, she was using it at the least opportune times. So rather than trying to figure out how to get her to use this at the perfect time on auto, screw it. We're just going to lock it out. It doesn't do enough for me to matter, and it just reduces damage. Now, Fane, we want this to be her first choice, and we want this to be her second choice. We need that attack down to make sure for survivability. Again, Cleopteryx can do whatever she wants. Brackus, we want to lead out with that, and then we can just let it do. We can let it do its thing afterwards. And then we want to make sure on the first hit, we just want him to open with this. And then after he opens with that, then we can start with the heals. We want to make sure that is. And the other thing is, he can heal here. It's not really important. As long as they need the heals, it's good for him to do it. They're not taking a lot of debuffs in these matches, so it's really hard to say, hey, this will work really well. But this is my first try revamping this, so let's see what happens here. Now, unfortunately, we don't have that AoE defense down. It would have been nice to bring in the rare, but it just isn't worth doing because now you see there, even though he's neutral affinity, like I said before, he gets hit. Thankfully, he heals himself up. He also has a chance where if he dies, he'll revive himself. I believe that's on a 4-turn cooldown. So I'm not too worried about him being killed. I just don't want Cleopteryx or Panthera to get attacked because I have no way to bring them back up. So if he dies once, it's not a big deal. That's actually probably the best scenario, is him getting hit here. So there we go. Now on here, we've locked out these abilities to make sure that they're off cooldown when it comes to the next round. A few other things I've noticed became almost no importance, right? Is Fane has a turn meter reduction, and so does Panthera. And I've done a video on Panthera. You may want to check it out. It's on my video. It's in my free-to-play series. I did a couple of rares, and that was one of them. Really kind of disappointed. Her turn meter decrease isn't enough to really affect anything, and it was really apparent in my last run here. But even Fane's reduction really didn't do much for me, and I thought it would do more. So, maybe that's a comment to the devs that I'm sure aren't watching, is this is the whole purpose of turn meter reduction. Right here. Arena would be the other place. Neither of these are really arena champions. So Fireknight is where it is so critical, and it is ineffectual. So maybe we need to look at upping the amounts of champions turn meter in general. Maybe you put a caveat in dungeons, right? I wouldn't have a problem with that. With champions that aren't in, if these were 15-20% reductions, I think it would mean a lot more. So you see, we're getting those single turns. This is the big thing. That's what we wanted. So we're open for business now. We get the attack down. That's really important. And then she's going to get that. So perfect. That's exactly what we wanted to happen. We don't want him to gain his health back. Hopefully Hawkhorn has his heal up here, because this will at least give a little bonus. I mean, they're not really hurt, but nonetheless, that gets rid of the speed debuff, which is really kind of a crappy thing. And from here, it's just a slow burn. I'll tell you what, I'll disappear. We'll watch it from here, so I can speed it up so you don't have to watch this for 6 minutes. It's a slow run, but eventually we'll get her done. Honestly, that was way quicker than the last one. We shaved about 2 minutes off just by setting their turn orders. That is such a powerful a powerful being able to go round by round and setting priorities on their skills. I still wish the AI would be smarter, but I guess this is almost as good. There's still instances where the AI... Here, let me turn down the music. There's still instances where the AI outdoes your corrections, and it still manages to out-stupid you. But there we go. 4 minutes 25 seconds, no blazing speed. But again, what I saw with the new rotations when we set that up is Fane was landing the defense down, which is nice. Hawkhorn was cleared the speed debuff, which was nice. Panthera seemed to always be landing her heal reduction. Without that heal reduction, this is a 20-minute run or a failure. So very strong there. But challenge succeeded. The hardest one so far. We'll see what that Skinwalker in Spiders looks like. But thank you for joining me in this video. I'm trying my best to get everything going for my next Demetha video. I think it's going to be at least fun to see some of the different comps we tried out and some of your suggestions and seeing what kind of damage it was able to do. So I'm fingers crossed. I haven't looked at Clan Boss today. Fingers crossed it's Magic Affinity. So the reason why I'm trying to do Affinity, by the way, is I don't want to do weak. Like, they will work on weak Affinity, but if you're suggesting a champion to me, especially like there's an uncommon champion, right? Delver, I think it's Delver. Dervish. I don't want to put her up weak Affinity. I want to put her neutral Affinity, so at least you get a strong understanding of what the potential is there. I don't want to take that potential away from her. So that's just kind of an FYI for you, just to let you know what I'm trying to do and why it's taking so long to get that video out. I want to make sure all the ones we put in there are getting neutral or strong affinity, so you can see their potential, not the weak affinity, and kind of be underwhelmed. So anyway, that's it for this one. That's it for me. I'll see you in the next video. Be kind, be safe. And like I said, I'm messing up my own sign off. We'll see you in the next video.